Hello and welcome to a book review. And today we will be reviewing Starling House by Alix Harrow. Now this came in the Illumicrate box for November 2023. Yes, I am behind on my book boxes. If you've been watching this channel, I get a lot of book boxes. Not many now, not as many now I should say, but I am woefully behind on reading them. But I did pick this one up for October. And I do like the cover. It's got the plastic on it, so I couldn't keep the plastic on while I was reading it because it kept sliding about a bit. But I do like the cover, and Illumicrate did exactly the same thing when they did their Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. It didn't work as well with that one. But if you've not heard of this book, let's get into the blurb. Step into Starling House if you dare. Nobody in Eden remembers when Starling House was built, but the town agrees it's best to let this ill-omened mansion and its last lonely heir go to hell. Stories of the house's bad luck, like good china, have been passed down the generations. Opal knows better than to mess with haunted houses or brooding men, but when an opportunity to work there arises, the money might get her brother out of Eden. Starling House is uncanny and full of secrets, just like Arthur, its heir. It also feels strangely, dangerously, like something she's never had. A home. Yet Opal isn't the only one interested in the horrors and the wonders that lie buried beneath it. Sinister forces converge on Eden, and Opal realizes that if she wants a home, she'll have to fight for it. Even if it involves digging up her family's ugly past to achieve a better future. She'll have to go down, deep down beneath Starling House, to claw her way back to the light. It sounds interesting. It sounds like a gothic horror. It isn't, but that's what it sounds like. And it is interesting. Kinda. But not as interesting as the blurb makes it out to be. So I think I read this over a couple of days. It was alright. It's sort of a horror, but it's not a horror. I read reviews after I've written my own, and one reviewer described it the most perfect way. Perfect. Because they said that Starling House is a book of almosts. And that is the most perfect way to describe this book. The backstory is good, the town's history is interesting, and the house is incredibly mysterious and has a mind of its own. But when all that stuff is put together, the outcome is a bit of a blancmange. The pacing of this book is incredibly slow. It could just do to, I don't need to know what she's doing in her life and what she's cleaning. I don't care. Just tell me, give me hauntings, give me things. And I don't care. I really don't care. And then when things finally start kicking up a bit, it does it for a little bit and then just sort of gets tired and goes back to doing dull, mundane stuff. Until the next time it kicks up a bit. And the next time it kicks up a bit, it is exactly the same as when it kicked up the first time, with exactly the same outcome. And then it goes back to being dull again. It's supposed to be a romance between Opal and Arthur. And really, there was absolutely no chemistry there. There was no connection between these two characters. She rocks up on his doorstep and he offers her a job. That's about it. And it tries to force this instant connection, instant lust, especially on Opal's part. And it really doesn't work. And it would have worked better if they had just become good friends. They have the same interests. The house, she loves the house, she loves his house. So if it had just stayed there, it would have worked a lot better. It would have had more feeling. And I completely forgot until I'd finished this that Opal is supposed to be 27. She moons around and acts and talks and like a teenager. I thought she was like 16, 17. But no, she's supposed to be 27. And she has absolutely no common sense at all. Nothing. Now the imagery is good. The atmosphere is good. the characters are beige, unfortunately, and the plot is slow to non-existent until you get to the end. And it's a cop-out, a complete and utter cop-out. It would only have been more of a cop-out if somebody said, but it was only a dream. This would have worked better as a novella or a short story. The author waffles, as much as I probably am doing right now, but she waffles too much, and you get little tidbits of history in the town, things that have gone on, and then nothing. Like the town could have played, and the sort of towns, like small town thinking, could have played an even better role in it, and it just wasn't realised. Now, I like the house being its own entity, but the problem with that is that I read a book earlier this year. It was an arc of the house, and it was its own entity, and it did it a hell of a lot better than this did. And that was by Isabel Aisling, and that was called This House is This Thing and that was called This Thing is Starving. And that was a 4-star read. It was beautiful, absolutely wonderful, complete horror. This would work better if you don't read horror and you wanted to pick something up just to get kind of in the Halloween spirit. It's a good opening into horror if, like, a teenager or, like a young adult hasn't read horror before. This is a perfect book for that. But I don't think it's marketed as YA. It was alright, it was just a bit bland. So yeah, I give it 2.5 stars just because I appreciated the effort. And the book is really, really pretty. The edges are absolutely gorgeous. But it just didn't seem to realise itself for me. So if you've read this, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this. Am I being too harsh on it? And like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram because I am going to try and start posting a hell of a lot more there. And as always, keep reading.
Soft embrace, dark star sips with calm